this is Brendan, B-R-E-N-D-O-N, Brendan. Lower limit for detoxification. I'm wondering how far down you can go in food and still be detoxifying. Well, that's a good question. I'll say this. If you're a sewage eater, you're eating meats and you're doing your cheeses and you're doing your pastas and you're doing all that crap, all you have to do is start eating raw food. All you have to do is start eating salads and some fruit in the morning and bam, off you go. You don't need much, and I'm sure that there's levels down into that. You know, you take a body that's so acidic and ready to explode, and they've been on steroids and things like that. Oh, these bodies are ready to explode. It wouldn't take much. It could even take some steamed vegetables, maybe, over all the meats and the dairies and stuff to throw you into a detoxification. It's possible. That's a low level there. But I'll say this. Some of you, if you have to, you start out with fruit in the morning. You can have your salad at lunch. You can have some steamed vegetables at night. You know, play with that if you have to. But you want to keep working yourself more and more to raw and more to fruits, berries, and melons. And then you're going to have an incredible experience of detoxification. You're going to find your body getting lighter, cleaner, no more odor. For your ladies, your periods are going to clean up and be just spotty. You're not going to have any odor. I mean, you all are going to love where this takes you in every sense of the word. Every sense of the word. So it's good stuff. I've been wanting to add some vegetables like raw mushrooms and zucchini, sprouts, and green beans. I think you can still detox with those. It depends. Really, if you've been on a fruit detox, I doubt it. It's going to probably kick you back. But try it. Try it and see, because the best way is don't take what I say, try it. Because then no one can ever lie to you anymore, because you have full-bore experience. And that's what this is about. We're just educating you on what we have experienced individually and what we've experienced with tens and tens of thousands of clients that have also found their remedies. So this is just, you know, us coming in and sharing with you this information, and we're very open to the feedback and sharing with all of you, because we're working as one. We want us all to be one voice. It's the only way we're going to change the consciousness at this level. Remember 11:11? We all walk as individuals, but with one voice. 11:11. You guys know that. Many of you are seeing that, remember? We walk as individuals, but with one voice. But there isn't zucchini starchy, and are green beans in some category as other beans? Yeah, green beans are better, no question. Green beans are going to be better than your dried beans. No question. We used to snap them and get the little beans inside. Yeah, I mean, they're real hard to digest, the outer side, though. You ever notice that? But, you know what? I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Well, fruits plus these foods still keep you in a detox at a certain level. Now, if you're used to deeper levels of detox, you're going to feel the kickback, no question. But I think it'll still detox you to a certain point. Absolutely do. But there's going to be a point where you'll reach a plateau. And it'll be a good point. And some of you don't have that much going on to where it can take you as much as you want her to go. Because some of you don't have the deep problems that others do. There are some of you that are that way, which is excellent. But most of you have much deeper problems. And you want to get into that level and then come back to what you're suggesting here. Or if your body's real sensitive, you walk the way you're suggesting first and then get into a little deeper. It's all where you want to take yourself, take your body. Let me see. I was reading through the list of foods and recipe in your book, and they include non-detox foods. Yeah, because that's just it's not all a detox book. It's a class book that came out that was the Detox Miracle Source Book. And as you can see, it's quite thick. It's my school book that I used to give to our students. And it's a science and practice of detoxification, true healing. And they could only print part of it. but it's just about education on foods and everything else. Because in the day, people didn't even understand this. You guys are already down a long road, and most of you are ready for a higher level of awareness. I come through the day where man wasn't quite ready for this. And if you watch your life, everything in due time and everything in its time. And remember, we've talked about if you push on doors that don't want to open, you just want to back away. Even though your emotions and everything might want what's on the other side of what you think you want's on the other side of the door, if you have to push too hard on the door and you make that door open, 99.99% of the time you regret pushing on the door, because God had that door closed a little tighter for you so you could just kind of turn away. But our desires sometimes get in the way of what we should be thinking and doing. And so that's why I say detachment's a better way to live life. Because you're free, you have fun, and you're not locked to anything. And you're not carrying things that you don't need to carry that might be propaganda or wrong teachings or whatever. Okay, just slower, yep. It's hard to tell because everyone is at a different level of toxicity. And see, that you bring up a good, excellent point there. And I think that's important to understand, is that everyone is at a different level of toxicity. And that's what makes you unique as healers. And I've always said, that's what makes, I should add to this, not only the science and practice of detoxification, but the art of detoxification, because that's where the art comes in, is the individuality of the client. And they're where they've been, the road that they've been down. Most of them have been down the medical road. And so they're pretty bad. They're hurting real bad. They've been on steroids for inflammation, lots of antibiotics, some on a lot of chemo, radiation, crap like this. So you've got a highly abused, a highly insulted, a highly damaged human body on top of what they had wrong with them in the first place. You can't live life like that on this planet. You got to turn that around. So we have a big talk because power is controlling everything. And you medical doctors, I know you want to help people, but you have a heavy AMA down here. And I know a lot of you don't belong to the AMA anymore. Thank God. A lot of good docs in this town don't belong to the AMA anymore. Thank God, because this association is a Rockefeller association. And not good. So it's just, I don't know. We all have to get in line to how simple healing is and how well it is. It's just what Marcy said about Einstein. If you can't understand the simplicity within the complex, then you're lost. It's hard to tell because, toxicity. I think this is a very wise statement that you made there, dear one. Something would simply slow you down or just stop you. Also wondering, especially because I'm not sure about filtration being an accurate way to tell, considering the increased filtration could also just mean ingesting and excreting more toxins. Well, there's also a good point there too. I will say this. I've watched this a lot of years. No filter, no getting well. Very hard. Now, you can still filter a little bit and not see it. There's no question about that. We still have cases that we get them improved even though they're not seeing a lot of filtration. So don't freak out with that. But filtration is everything. And if you don't filter, hard to get well. And especially for those of you that have tumors. I have a lot. I can say this non-egotistically. I have a lot, and so does Marcy now, a lot of first-hand experience with non-filtration of kidneys and what's on the other side lymphatically and what happens if you don't. So kidney filtration is a big deal. But one kidney can be filtering and the other not. And you still see filtration, but one side of your body could not be getting better at all. But you're filtering. See, so yeah, there's nothing 100%, but it's something. It's something you can grab on to understand. And you keep working and working, so both of them start filtering. And you'll know because the other side of your body will start coming clean again. So it is a big deal to me that you filter your kidneys and get them working. This also means that the adrenal glands on top has to be addressed. Has to be addressed. I guess I'm tripped up because you tried to outline a happy medium that is pretty good, mostly raw, mostly fruit, but also dipping into sweet corn and potatoes occasionally will still adds up to being healthier than sad. Absolutely. And you just got to realize you've got people out there just ain't going to do it. Now, I mean, that's the other side of this coin. You have some of your clients that are just not going to do the program like you want them to do. That's why the herbs. Because you got some people that are just not going to do all raw. You got some people that can't do all fruit and all this other thing, even though it makes them feel so good. If they knew the journey and what it was like afterwards, they would run to this. Run to this. But most people are scared or they're set in their ways. So we have to take baby steps with them or put them on steamed vegetables. Anything better. See, I look at everything as a little better. You know, just that you said right here. I'm not a perfectionist thinker anymore. I don't even want to be. No way. That's gotten me into more trouble in building homes and everything else. I take every piece of lumber I'm putting in a house and I personally pick it and eye it for straightness on both ways. That's how bad I am as a perfectionist. If something doesn't line up, I rip it out and redo it. And I let all that go because it just tears me. You know, it's hard to get perfection, and God kept making things just not quite perfecting for me, so I could just finally let it go. You know, it's gonna fit, if it don't, it's look fit, that sort of thing. Not that I compromise quality, but I don't get caught up in perfection in that way. That just so definitely, if you can help your friends eat a little better, feel a little better, that's a big deal. Baby steps, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to change someone that's trapped and caught into this consciousness here, and you've helped them up a little bit. It's a big deal. It's a fun thing. Even if they just change their diet and get away from the dead animals, the dairy is number one. People have to get away from the dairy products. There is nothing, absolutely nothing good. And now with the latest study on milk, well, interesting how the Dairymen's Association deals with this one. You know, because how do you pick truth out when truth is all on our side on that? Where are they going to grab onto truth that doesn't show how bad dairy is? There's nothing you can say. There's not one thing you can say about pasteurized milk that's good, or yogurts, or ice creams, or anything like that. And for those of you that have a lot of inflammation, a lot of lymph or tumors, I'd be rethinking that food because you're just going to make your tumors grow. We've seen this for years. I've got, like I said, I'm 6 years shy of 50 years in this. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of ups and downs, a lot of people going through these things. And it does educate you. There's nothing any better than being a healer, because it is a blessing, because you're in the world of giving, and you're giving love, you're giving them a remedy, and there's nothing any greater than that, because the whole universe smiles when people are smiling. You know what I mean? Our actions affect the whole universe. So isn't this cool? This is good stuff. Will adding these foods also make the herbs less effective at doing their job? Yes. I mean, fact is fact. But they'll still do their job. I have some people that don't even change their diet, and they use herbs. I had one guy, he finally stroked and died the other day. He's in his upper 80s. I'd had him alive for 5 years. He got a cholesterol ring about an inch thick around his eye, and I said, I can just, he's just not changing his diet. He said he's high protein. I'm going, all I can do, because I'm working on the whole family, so all I can do for the hubby here is to have upper circulations and things like that, keep working on his kidneys so he doesn't run into kidney failure. So I think I've had him alive for 5-6 years, then finally he had the big one. But that's just with herbs. I do want to fully detox over time, but I'm not necessarily in a rush. Yeah, if you don't have anything bugging you, then go slow, go down there. Definitely get your fruit for breakfast. You definitely want to get into that habit of having fruit for breakfast, because that's breaking the fast from the night before. Remember, breakfast, breaking the fast from the night before. And you always break a fast with what? Fruit. Always. So you want to have that fruit, berries, and melons for breakfast to lunch, and then do your thing. Have a large salad, and then maybe steamed at night. Do your thing from then on. Maybe some green drinks in between. However you want to run that. I am comfortable as long as I know that I am only getting healthier over time. And that, for me, that's good too. That's good too. If you're not hurting, you want to do that, I like that idea too. Most important, I want to clean out my bowels and yeah, I agree. And get your kidneys filtering. I'm serious about this one, dear. You got to get your kidneys filtering. That's essential. You get those and your intestines clean out, your idea is right on. And another one I'll throw to you is make sure your glands are functioning. Because your glands literally control everything. And if your adrenals are down, your thyroid, your pituitary's down, everybody's going down, that's where the problems are. So work on your endocrine glands with an endocrine gland formula or something. Your adrenals, check your blood pressure, see if you're low or whatever. You know, look at your eyes. See what you need to do with your eyes. That's the beauty. Don't forget those pictures of your eyes, guys. That's a beautiful thing. What's the worst I can do and still be detoxifying? Steamed vegetables, because you flatly are going to stop detoxing on meat because there's no electromagnetic energy in cooked meat at all. It's all gone. At least steamed vegetables have somewhere around 1,000 to, say, 1,500 angstroms of energy, where we need at least 65 to stay the same. Thank God, soul, and we can pound energy to our bodies, but still, I don't know. But I would say that, because if you're doing the meats, that's going to stop detox, and dairy will stop detox. So I'd say steamed cooked vegetables is probably the least you can do on the cooked side, or the best you can do on the cooked side that'll keep you detoxing. Everything else is going to flatly stop you, and then add more problems to the mix. Dairy is just plain mucus forming, so all the work one does to detox the mucus out, you put right back in. That's not fun. And then on the meats, it just brings high acidosis in there. The very thing you're detoxifying out of the body, of course, it's make you stink and everything else as well. So the very things you're trying to get out, you're putting back in, so I wouldn't go to those foods. Animal products, toss them. I would say if you had to go to potatoes, go to sweet potatoes, and I'd do maybe 1 or 2 a week, but chew on a potato like a baked potato and see how much is there that's thick and suffocating compared to a fruit. Yeah, strengthen your glands and get rid of your parasites. You're right on in your thinking. I really like what you're thinking. You're right on with that. And for those, that sometimes that's really... Also, this brings into question steamed vegetables, cooked vegetables, oils, and salts. Again, I realize these are things to stay away from. Well, if you're going to do the salts, you got to do... Remember, if you're craving salts, it's an adrenal gland weakness. If you're going to do your salts, do your Celtic salts, your Himalayan salts, where you're full-bodied salts. But again, these are inorganic minerals, basically. You could say organic and they're tied together somewhat, but electrically they're close to inorganic. Occasionally dip into... Well, you know what? One can occasionally dip into anything. And it's not going to stop your detox. It's not going to hurt you. If once in a blue moon you take a bite of ice cream or you take a bite of a rib or a fish or something, not going to hurt you. And when you do something like that, you do the smallest thing you can get rid of. Oh, that was good. I'm done. I just needed to taste it. Thank you very much. You know, that might be all you need is just the taste. I had a chef that has in dialysis once, famous chef, and poor guy, he had to taste all his food, but he went total fruitarian, but he had to taste all his food because he was the chef, and a famous one at that. So I wondered, you know, it was hard to get him back, and I was always wondering, he did well, but I was always wondering, you know, did the vibrational frequency of just putting it in your mouth, because remember we're sublingual? We put things, absorption. So frequency-wise, once you interact, once you touch it, you've got it. All you have to do is touch something and that frequency is now yours. That quick, you just bonded with it. That's why they talk about the desireless state in healers, and that you have to be careful about bonding with your clients. Because sometimes in bonding with your clients, you start picking up on their pain and their problems. And that's not worth it for any of you guys to pick up on other people's problems. Everyone stands alone. They came here alone. They're going to die alone. Everybody lives alone. We pull friends and we marry and we do things, but in the final analysis, when things are stripped from you, you stand alone. That's why you must get into yourself and know yourself well so you don't freak out in those times of aloneness. And this time when you're ready to pass, you're excited, because you know you're on your journey. Who you interact here is just pure temporarily, except for you that are karmically journeying with a family or so. Many of you travel in families. One lifetime the mother, one lifetime the brother. In theory, would I or someone in a case like mine still be detoxifying on fruit all day, herbs, salad with vegetables at night, whether raw or steamed, and occasionally once a week, twice at the most, a lower level meal? I think you are absolutely correct. And for that, I have to go, because I have an appointment that I have to deal with. But you're right on. That's a perfect way to live for most people, right there. Right there, perfect way to live. If you have dip, play once in a while, who cares? You want to taste something, taste it. Who cares? No one's going to hit you in the head with a club. You're putting this in your body. So what you want in your body, you're going to have to deal with that. But a bite or two here and there, or a little piece of something here and there, big friggin' deal. You know, it's just not that big a deal. If you spend too much time being too perfect, like I was doing, you get unbalanced. And then you lose your friends and everybody else because they don't understand your zest for feeling good like you do and stuff. And I felt so good, my friends couldn't understand how I had so much energy. Turned them off. So I don't know. I think it's, you just take yourself down the road the best you can. And I think that, like you said, I think that's a perfect plan, especially after a deeper detox. If you want to dig deep, dig into the fruits. If you want to do that, but a diet like you're suggesting will take you right into Wellville eventually. Might take you an extra year or something, who cares? You'll be driving right into Wellville Station. It might be, though, if you reach a plateau, then that means your body needs to go deeper, and that means you have to kick up the fruit for a little while just to dig deeper and then come back. But that's a perfect way for people to live off of the programs of deeper detoxification. And also, you might want to take a break once in a while from detox and get this level, and then revisit detox at another time. You don't have to always live in detox, but when you got it, you're digging deep in the body, you got everything running, keep on going until you get your remedy to it. All your symptoms are gone and your body is back to Wellville. Then, have fun. I love each and every one of you. You got some excellent questions here. I thank each and every one of you, and you're all doing real good. I really am proud of you. And just, so, there's not enough words to say how great of an experience this is with each and every one of you, and how we're affecting the world. It's just amazing to see what you guys are already doing out there. I'm humbled to no extent. Love you.